We know that keeping your family healthy is important to you, and creating an environment where they can thrive depends not only on your daily choices in the home, but also those that affect the community at large. That's why Dettol has launched Mission for Health. I don't know about you, but the kitchen's the hub of my home, and that means that everybody comes in here and basically dumps all their belongings on my work surface, from bags of shopping to handbags, coats, school bags. So one of the first things I do when I come in, if I'm going to be preparing food, is I actually clean the work surface before I stopped getting the food out. And the other day I actually found a teenager lying all over the work surface. So, you know, anything could happen when you're not here. The other thing to bear in mind is that it's not just what people bring in on their hands and their coats and their bags into the kitchen that you need to be worried about. There are also lots of foods that intrinsically have potentially dangerous bacteria on them. And so one little tip, which is really important and could save you so much trouble really, is to, if you're defrosting raw meat or poultry, put it in a deep dish and put it in the bottom of the fridge. That means that you don't get the drip going all over the fridge. It's all contained in the dish. The other thing is always put raw meat, eggs, poultry on the bottom shelf of the fridge and away from things such as the dairy products which are going to be eaten as they are. Now, one thing you can do, which is really simple to really protect your family, is just be aware that if you're preparing raw chicken or raw meat, there could be potentially harmful bacteria on the surface of those foods. If a child tries to sort of interrupt you and wants a glass of water or something in the middle of you preparing the food, always think you could have harmful bacteria on your hands. You don't want to give those to your children. So what I always do is go and wash my hands first. If you've got bacteria all over your hands, then you really do need to wash them. So if you've been handling raw meat or poultry, make sure you wash your hands really thoroughly, because otherwise your hands will spread those bacteria all over the home, and anyone of any age could pick the bacteria up and become ill. So actually the kitchen is a really good place to start on your mission for health. The lounge is often the dustiest area of the home because you've got hard and soft furnishings, and if you've got a cat or a dog, then you've got extra dust. And so the main thing really in the lounge is just to keep it a nice, relaxing place to be. Keep the dirt down, keep the dust down, particularly if you've got someone with an allergy in the home, and hoover up to make sure it's dust-free. On the surfaces, you just need a damp cloth just to get rid of the dust, and pay attention to things like the remote control or the telephone, because they can get really mucky. But for busy mums, then really there are other areas of the home which are more important and would have a greater impact for actually a relatively small amount of effort. So I'd say concentrate more on areas such as the kitchen and the bathroom. The bathroom is often the most dirty room in the house, and it's the most frustrating and time-consuming place to keep clean, because no sooner have you cleaned it, somebody else is going to mess it up. One of the things you want to make sure you do is concentrate on the hand contact surfaces. So in other words, the taps and also the flush handles. It's funny, but people often think that the most important thing to clean in their homes is actually the bowl of the toilet, and they spend ages cleaning that. But actually, this is where you transfer bacteria from one person to another, or the toilet flush handle. But the most important message that you can do to educate your child is to get them to wash their hands properly, and you need to help them to do that. For example, you need a little step so that they can get up to the basin, and they need to have easy access to the tap. When they're washing their hands, they need to do it for long enough and properly. So that's on the backs of the hands, in the cracks between the fingers, and sing happy birthday twice all the way through. And that way you'll know that they've actually spent long enough with the soap and water to actually clean their hands properly. Finally, make sure that they use a nice clean towel to dry their hands. Good habits learned in the home can also be taken to school and help create a healthy environment there. Every mum knows that it's an absolute nightmare to try and keep a child's bedroom tidy. But if you've got a new baby in the home, then it's really important to keep it hygienically clean. And one of the easiest ways to do that if you're busy is to use an antibacterial wipe. And you can use that on the bedside table, on the toys, on the nappy bin, the cot rails, and also on the changing mat. And don't forget that soft toys like Teddy also need to go in the wash, probably about once a month, just to keep them fresh. Us mums have got enough on our plates with work, looking after the children, looking after the home, to spend all day long cleaning. But what we need to do is focus on the really important areas and get the rest of the family to get involved, primarily by washing their hands thoroughly. And that way, together, we can all make sure that we have a healthy environment for our families.